How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at hack/trailers. This is the sixth thing collected in Omnibus 1, and is a really interesting little idea. The idea being that hack/ already kind of references and parodies a bunch of other horror movies. Why not do an anthology of fake trailers and talk about some of the crazy and extreme moments that horror can do? You know, things like going to space for a sequel or shark movies. It really touches on a lot of stuff and leads to some fun, cool, and out there moments. I mean, Tom Cruise even shows up for a second in this, which is definitely fun and crazy. Now, obviously, with an anthology, some stuff works better than others. There are a few stories that don't 100% hit the high notes, and there are other stories that I could have read for pages upon pages. And I think actually one of the stories in here, Tub Club, did get turned into a full-length story when hack/ got their on-running story, so actually a legitimate trailer there. And other things like Renegade Knife Itai will actually bring about the Hibachi Devil, which will appear in Slice Hard. So there are some cool actual trailery moments in here, but overall just really fun to see hack/ kind of do this speed round and go through a bunch of fun tropes and introduce a bunch of possible story ideas that maybe couldn't have been a full one-shot, but hey, can be a fun little trailer. And horror movie trailers are, of course, a fun thing on their own, so there definitely are some high moments in here, and it was a fun little one-shot to say the least. Anyway, without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera. I'll talk a bit about each of the stories and show a bit of the art. No major spoilers, but without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at hack/ trailers. Once again, we're going to be taking a look from Omnibus 1, and let's crack it open to that credits page. We see, as always, the writer is Tim Seeley. Now, the credits for this are actually quite long. You see the last story was Land of Lost Toys, and the next one is Slice Hard, so it should fit here, but it's too big. Trailers is everything from here all the way down to Slashing Through the Snow, and obviously hack/ versus Chucky is not part of the trailers, but I'll pan over it really slow so you can see all the names of all the different stories and all the people that worked on them. Now, one thing, that last story, Slashing Through the Snow, I always thought it was part of trailers, but it actually lists this as a new exclusive thing for this volume, so I guess it's not. If you guys have an original copy of trailers and know for sure, I would love to hear more about it. But anyway, let's go ahead and flip to that title page. Alright, here is the cover for trailers. We get to see Black, White, and Red, Chippy Chipmunk, or Chippy the Slasher Slayer, standing in a pool of blood with a knife hidden behind her back. It's a cool image and translates very well into the first story. Now, I'm not going to do any major spoilers. I will show you some of the art and give you a general idea of what each one's about. But that being said, I will have to be a little short for each one this time around because some of these stories are only a couple pages. Anyway, the first one's called Blood and Nuts, and we get to see Scotty Young, who had survived comic book carnage. Turns out he's now getting killed off by his own recreation, the reimagining of Chippy Chipmunk to be more like Cassie. Well, who did this? We see a mysterious woman in bandages casting a magic spell, and this panel actually refers to her as an enemy from the past. Yes, this is someone we've seen before, but not in this form. This would be explained in hack/ versus Chucky, and I am curious if these were printed out of order, or if we're just supposed to figure out who she is. Anyway, moving on to the next trailer, this one's called Renegade Knife Itai, and we get to see that Cassie and Vlad are in Japan when a karaoke singer is killed by the Hibachi Devil. Now, this character is actually one that will come back in the very next story, so yeah, even though this story didn't get a full adaptation, it's cool to see it introduce a character. But we get to see manga-inspired versions of Cassie and Vlad go out to fight him, and it does also do a thing where it sets up another fight. That's sort of the thing, is this story just kind of sets up potential would-be fights. It's fun enough to see them in a different style, although that being said, I feel we could have gone even harder into, you know, manga tropes and having a few jokes at them. But whatever, it's fun enough for what it is. Now, the next one here is called Tub Club, and this one would actually get made into a full story when Hack Slash became an ongoing series, and we get to see a school for girls, and there's a mysterious secret club that hangs out in the hot tub after hours, and it turns out that someone is going to kill people every 50 years, so Cassie needs to infiltrate this school for girls. And I really do like when it's revealed who the villain is. It's a really cool pull, and obviously I won't spoil the famous panel from this, but there's a lot that could be explored, you know, with Cassie and her personality that we'll cover when we get to the full version of this story. After that, we get Orbituary, and we see this astronaut floating in space, and I do love the blood and this lady screaming, and it says that they're doing an experiment with convicted killers to try to freeze them for long-term space travel, but you know that's going to go bad, and the government has to get Cassie and Vlad in on this. Overall, it's a really cool story. I do like, you know, that it talks about the trope of when franchises don't know what to do, they go into space. And I also do like just that we do get Cassie and Vlad in space. You know, it's a really cool idea, and it builds to what could be a really fun finale and battle. Again, won't show much more because I don't want to spoil it. After that, we have a story called Dead Celebrities, and it talks about how everyone wants to be famous, but someone is killing popular celebrities through the TV, and we get to see that Tom Cruise is amongst one of the victims. It's overall kind of a funny story, and the thing is, this is mostly just, hey, how many celebrities can we get on Hack Slash? Hey, look, we have Tom Cruise and he died, isn't that funny? The story it sets up on the end is kind of interesting, but it doesn't really get to be explored too much because it is just kind of haha celebrities. Not my favorite, but could have panned out to something better if given a few more pages. The next one I really like, and I do like it's kind of just a genre trope, but this story is called Once Bitten, and we get to see a woman getting eaten by a shark, but it turns out it's just Cassie, and this slasher is Blackfin, and she's like, I don't know if we can really qualify this as a slasher, but blood, a mannequin, and some poison, and turns out you have a dead shark, and they're just kind of joking about this when, of course, the situation will get turned on its head. I'm a huge fan of shark movies, and even though this is just a quick little 2-page story in trailers, I thought it was really fun, and I am super glad that we got that. Yeah, no, it's just cool to see Cassie and Vlad doing a shark movie, even if it is just a quick trailer. And then after that, we have Slashing Through the Snow, which kind of has its own cover page here, so maybe it's its own thing, but we get to see the chimney with the bloody footprints. Really wish they had the axe sticking up. A good callback to Silent Night, Deadly Night would be pretty fun. But we get to see it's a bit of a different format. Text up top, pictures on the bottom, and even though it says Slashing Through the Snow, it's really more of a parody of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Everything will rhyme, and it talks about the slasher Rudolph, who has reindeer antlers as kind of a Freddy Krueger glove, and he's going to kill people he thinks are too greedy. This is actually a full story, which I do really like. If you want a little hack slash Christmas tale that can be told in about the same amount of time as it would, a regular little Christmas story like Night Before Christmas, that's pretty cool. And we do get to see fun little softer cartoon versions of the main characters there, so not the best thing ever, but again, a fun little Christmassy treat. I do gotta love it. Anyway, so that was trailers, and yeah, it's cool to see an anthology. It's cool to touch on some stuff that maybe we didn't have a full story for, and I do like how some of the stuff did become full stories. Overall, Trailers is fun, even if it didn't have all the time it needed to flesh out all of its ideas perfectly. I mean, hey, it's a fun anthology. I wish they did more of these, but I think it's the only one. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my hack slash playlist where you should be able to find reviews for all the past entries in this series. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.